disclaimer, drip is a life changer. Now all I do is chill and write bangers. Morph into the green like the White Ranger. Taking my block to the top just like Jenga. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make some change like Drip Coach did. Posting like daily, put you under hypnosis. Fuck around with another dev and get ghosted. It's hopeless. We so bullish like Mike Jordan. All the fun fading away is quite enormous. Building a bridge, kinda like a chorus for those missing in action like Chuck Norris. Run for us, run away, don't come back. We stick together, on point like thumbtacks. Grab the Iron Man, they gone from one snap. Going hard for the network, that's a fun fact. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make...
Let's try that. Is that working now? Test, test, test. Looks like you can hear me now. I see something going on. That was weird. I don't know why it did that. So, can you hear me now? It looks like you guys should be able to hear me now, right? I see the actual gauge moving up and down. So I'm going to assume that that's working. Somehow it changed my settings. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Cool. All right. DeFi Gardener, what up, man? You are like the Carol Gardner now, man. Carol Protocol. Nice. I'm still on the fence, man. I don't know. I like what they're doing, but I have been jaded the last 2.5 years in crypto, and all good things come to an end. And I don't know how long this ride will go because there's no yield coming from this, right? So they're paying out in ETH and paying out in BNB, and they're giving out high percentage rates every single day, but we know these are 100% Ponzi-nomics. So that means the people who are getting paid out, those dividends are coming from new investors. And shout out to them for all their promotions and stuff they're doing. But this ride has to come to an end, or they have to add some form of liquidity provision, you know, something, some utility, something, because I have nothing against Ponzi-nomics. That's a great way to kind of be like a crowd fundraiser. It's a great way to kickstart a program and do stuff. But right now, there's, as far as I'm aware, DeFi Garden, you can tell me if I'm wrong, though there's no outside capital like liquidity providing or utility, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that means that all good things will come to an end, because this can't sustain this at a high clip for very long, especially at these percentage rates, man. Super, super high percentage rates. But I hope for those that are in, it does work. Yep, everything has a shelf life if you don't come with utilities. Yeah, exactly. So do you know, are they, you're behind the scenes, you speak to the team a lot. Did they got any utilities coming for Carol? Because right now it's just a really good hype and promotion campaign. The utility is getting more eyeballs into the project, and then they forked it and went in B&B, and shit, they got a ass ton of liquidity on the first day in B&B. Damn, dropped below 1 million. So it looks like people are migrating from from the base side, or they're taking profits now. But I think this one broke 1 million already. Yeah, 1.2, so 2 million in their protocol in like 2 months. That is 2.5 months, I think. That's solid. But again, everybody getting paid these days, it's coming from new investors. So how long will that last? I do not know. So if they don't come with some utility quickly, we will see, in my opinion, a big drain on the protocol very quickly. It'll spiral out of control, just like we've seen before in other ROI dApps. But that's not shitting on them. That's just the way DeFi works. So I do not know, but hoping for the best for sure. Where's my, yeah, let's see what I got the BNB side. 21.002 BNB. What is it, like $2? Something like that. $4. This is all literally house money. So I'm also cautious. I believe, or I have a gut feeling. I put this in my Telegram. We'll see if it ages well. It's been maybe like 2 weeks, but I've seen this in previous protocols over DeFi summer and earlier this year as well. The one that jumps out at me is Yield Robot, but I believe there were some other ones. I'm having deja vu that there was at least 3 protocols earlier this year that they had promotions like this where they wanted people to, you know, get in, refer a friend, lock up more capital, buy a new bond, do some additional staking, all that. And then after the TVL got to a certain amount, they rugged, or I'm sorry, got exploited. So this is giving me those same warm fuzzies. Not to say the Carol team will do that, but I'm also not saying they won't. That's why I'm not shilling this with a referral link at all, because yeah, I've just seen in DeFi that things just do not last. And without utility, without actual outside capital for reasons for people besides gambling, it's going to be just a quick downward death spiral. But if you get in early, congrats. What else we got? Nothing in the drip side. Oh, there is one thing, actually. I don't know if you guys follow this, but well, before I go into that, we'll see what DeFi Gardener says. Whatever ROI dApp is in good standing when the market takes off is going to run hard, in my opinion. Yeah, true. Can't disagree with that. It definitely, all it takes is a solid team and just some hype. That's it. And it'll run its course. So that is the nature of ROI dApps. The nature of DeFi is that, yeah, you just got to be in early and take profits as quick as possible and realize that it'll all come to an end. And that's just the shitty end of it, because somebody else is going to get in late and they're going to be your exit liquidity. And that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But not sure if you guys follow this, but the Drip Warriors are still trying to do a lot for Drip. They got this Thanksgiving party push the pot kind of incentive. They had this last one on the 6th, and I think they ended up with like 60,000 Drip or something like that in the in Triple D. It disappeared very quickly. That was in November 6th. I didn't cover it, but they got also a DAO and all this stuff going on. So it's very interesting, because I was going to say one of the first that actually pitched this idea way back in like January, February, and even showed the Spartans and a couple other clips. And then this group came about like a couple months later. And they've been behind the scenes, I guess, trying to get things moving. I am not part of it. They did not welcome me to the club, which is fine by me, but not going to hold any grudges. Just gonna let you guys know that, yeah, there's still groups out there doing stuff for drip. So we will see what happens. Definitely not Forex, of course. He's not doing shit for it. And ironically, remember on all of his AMAs previously, when Triple D came out, he mentioned how he would support community projects. And that was going to be the push going forward, was like to get the community projects involved and all that stuff. And here we have one of the most successful community projects, literally 1 month old, like as of 2 days ago or something like that. And not a peep from Forex or the team, nothing on the Twitter, nothing in his announcements, absolutely nothing. Why? Because that proves to you that he will not be doing anything with drip unless he can benefit directly from it. And this team has picked up the ball that Forex fumbled. And October 14th, they started with 352,000 drip. And literally a month later, 7.1 million drip. That is insane. Like, that is nothing to like ignore and pretend that doesn't exist. But that's exactly what Forex and his team are actually doing right now, because they're not covering it. And why would they? Because there's no benefit for Forex. So selfishly, he only does what will make, not holders, what makes him look good, or at least what he thinks makes him look good. But I definitely want to highlight them. I'm still not in the drip side. I'm hoping that they continue to grow, because I just want I want my drip bags to be worth more. But I'm not willing to lock it up again just for the sake of trying to get extra drip from other people, basically. Because remember, the way the contract works in Kitchen Sink is it can only pay out what's put into it. So again, somebody's going to be left holding the bag. But as long as you understand that, then that's cool. But this is impressive, man. They have 5% of the supply in 1 month. They are coming for Pancake Swap. And they've been growing at about 100,000 drip per day on average. So they need another, 4 million to overtake Pancake Swap. So that could be 40 days. Could be like a New Year's gift, maybe. Where do I see BNB going in the bull run? Ooh, man, damn good question. I just listened to somebody today on when the cycle will actually kick off. Let me see if it's in my history. Because he was talking about it's pushed a little further back than what I've heard other people talking about. But he's another one of those market analyst guru types. And I'm going to answer your question, DG, but he talked specifically about Bitcoin. So this guy, 300K Bitcoin, but he's saying by September 2025, if I'm not mistaken. So I definitely could see, like, if he's given a 10x to Bitcoin by 2025, and like the conservative people are giving Bitcoin at least a 3x, and I guess that would be like a 2x to 3x from the all-time highs, then that means we should definitely see a $1,000 BNB. The alts actually pump higher, but I at least see $1,000 because we got the 635 in 2021 twice. We touched that with the double top, the same as Bitcoin. So I would at least, I mean, they should technically do a double or a triple as well, but being conservative, I would say 1,000 to 1,500 for sure would be a BNB top. But the question is when. So everybody's putting this hype on the ETF and that it'll be approved and all this stuff, and then that the money's going to funnel in, but it'll probably still line up with the cycles. So who knows? When and what price did you enter drip, bro? Cunt. I got in first time was at 130 and DCA'd all the way down. Shit, I was buying drip at $1. But my biggest DCAs came between the $100 to $30 range. That's where I ended up dropping 30K total across the $100 to $30 range. That's where the biggest buys came in. And I am wrecked beyond belief. That is The sad state of affairs. I'm actually going back through some of my videos because like I still believe this to some degree, right? So it's hard to say. Like, you hear all the financial advisors, the legitimate ones, in the you know, S&P 500 and stocks and bonds, mutual funds and real estate and all this stuff, commodities. They always say diversify, diversify, diversify. But on the flip side, all of them actually, when you look into it and dig in and even look at self-made millionaires and billionaires with companies, they made that by not diversifying. They made that by going big on something they believed in. They bet the farm on, you know, if you're Colonel Sanders doing KFC, or if you're Chick-fil-A and making the best chicken sandwich and making it super simple. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. All these multi-million and billion-dollar companies actually got there, and even the investors got there in one thing. Then, and only then, did they diversify once they had the wealth. So people, I think like Grant Cardone, he's finance, real estate. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki, same thing, real estate. And then they went into all these other things later. So I haven't seen a single one of these highly influential people ever get their money from diversification in the beginning. And I bring that back home because I was talking about with Drip, like in the beginning, and even now, you know, DeFi summer is coming again, and NFT crazes and all that. You're just kind of doing this shotgun approach of throwing everything you can in different directions and hoping for, you know, a moonshot. And that is diversification, but I still believe it's diversification because this industry is so new and so riddled with scams and exploits and all this stuff that the chances of you landing a moonshot token is literally luck and timing. You know, you just got to hope you're in the right one with the right amount, because if you like take $1,000 and you throw 100 into just 10 different ones, you may catch one that might give you $500 back. So you only lost 500. But catching one that'll give you 100 to 100,000 is rare and super lucky. So I bring that back because I was very big, and I still believe in trying to find a project you can believe in and trust and all that stuff. And then you ride that out. That's kind of like blue chips. So I believe still the hodl, hold, you know, investment thesis, having a strategy, all that stuff is key. But the big problem is you can't trust none of these people out here. So I don't honestly know, man. Like, you just got to keep playing the scratch tickets and gambling and hope for the best, because none of these devs can be trusted. None of these influencers can be trusted, myself included. Anybody shilling anything is shilling it for their own self-interest, man. It's 100% selfish. So you're hearing the information from other influencers, other content creators. They're already in. Therefore, when they shill it to you and their community, it pumps their bag. They make profit. You might, depending on how many more influencers get it, but somebody else is always left holding the bag. So the only solution is to get into projects that have legs. Now, here's another perfect example. I've brought this up multiple freaking times. I bet huge on this guy, and I still believe in him, but his project has flopped from a actual monetary recruitment standpoint. Now, this is a self-made millionaire, built $1 billion unicorn company from scratch, changed the game of protein bars, changing the game now for mindset and edutainment media with impact theory. Rubs elbows with some of the biggest and brightest people in the industries. And his team that he built with impact theory and his NFTs that he made, he's hired game developers from Riot Studios, Rockstar Studios, Blizzard. He's got artists from Marvel, from Disney. Like, he's got the team. And he still ended up getting a slap on the wrist fine from the SEC. His NFT project is lackluster in regards to monetary recruitment value. But he's built something epic. Like, this thing is insane what he's built. And he's basically, if you ever read the book Ready Player One, then you'll understand what he's building. The book is better than the movie, but he's actually building a Ready Player One multiverse. And right now it's all about Christmas Merry mods. But these characters back here are fully rigged 3D avatars built in the Unreal Engine 5. And you get this avatar. This is your actual NFT. And each item on this character is its own NFT. Then each of these items have real utility. Like his wife made a book. And if you bought the book, the real book, you got these boots that were part of the NFT. Then though that NFT would grant you access to a signing party, all this stuff. Same thing with the Merry mods. Like it gives you access to Christmas parties and raffles and stuff like that. And he wants to build this entire metaverse. So huge, big plans of what he wants to build, like this borderless entertainment. But I'm bringing this all back because I bet big on the jockey, and I still believe in this guy and what he's doing because of the team he has and his transparency and all this stuff. But I'm still down like 90% of his project. So all that to bring it back home and say that you never know. It's completely luck. Now, I believe in like 10 years from now, there will be some development. And if you bet big on, in my opinion, a project like this and what he's going to develop, so long as he doesn't get hit by a bus, even like Gary Vaynerchuk and VFriends and stuff like that, like those projects can have legs and be much bigger than anything we ever expected because technology never gets unwound. You can never roll back technology unless there's like a nuclear holocaust and the whole world goes dark. And after that, we have bigger problems to solve. But because of that, like we're going to have AI, we're going to have faster streaming services. You're going to have real immersive experiences online. You know, the headsets and stuff will be, VR goggles will be much, much better. All sorts of stuff. These are all the avatars. So it's going to only go forward and people are going to be blending these gaming worlds. Like I remember growing up playing video games like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And you have the non-playable characters, NPCs. Well, now there's already games that are putting real AI into those NPCs. So when you interact with them, they don't just repeat the same stories over and over and over again. They actually have real conversations and you can get to know them. They have a backstory. They have a life. It's crazy. And it's this whole fully 3D environment. And that's gaming. So that's going to continue on the blockchain where, you know, those games give you rewards and stuff like that. So people like Tom Bilyeu, like Gary Vaynerchuk, building on this and trying to bring that 10-year development future to us now, I think you can catch a nice wave, but you got to be willing to wait. So that's the complete opposite of the FOMO DeFi degen energy. So again, tying it all back, I wouldn't change anything that I did before because I still would have lost money no matter what, splitting it up. And I still believe that diversification is not a good strategy. But again, I don't know how to vet a project anymore because you can't bet on the devs or the jockey because they're pretty much all cut from the same cloth, in my humble opinion. And so are the content creators. So the only thing left now is people like this, but you got to go through the red tape and like him getting a lawsuit from the SEC and changing course because of that. So there's just too many unknown unknowns, man. You just got to hope you get lucky. All right, that was a long cycle. Let me go back and read the questions you guys had. So Matt, what up, Matt? Reality really hit me as I maxed out today at 51K drip. Hey, you maxed out at 51K, but you won't pull out 51K. Okay, I was about to say, hey, you got more drip than me. Thanks, Mr. Blue. Smash that like button. Appreciate that. Von Glass, how much belief do you have in drip, especially once it goes deflationary? I have belief in the drip token and drip community. I have zero belief in Forex. Forex is a con artist at best and a one-trick pony, in my opinion. So the community will continue to grow drip because a lot of us have lost or invested a lot of money and time. So therefore, the token itself will always be there. And I think the community will pick up the pieces and run with it. And there's already games and stuff like that coming out. Again, prime example, Kitchen Sink being able to pull in 5% of the supply in 30 days. So all we need is more people like these guys to create stuff. And then there's a strong possibility for drip to rebound. Now, big caveat to that, Von Glass, is that I believe Forex will put his claws and clutches right back into the drip token once the community fixes it, because he still owns the contracts, and all that BS we were fed about it being immutable means nothing, because he can very quickly turn the inflation right back on. So I believe that what'll happen is the token price will go up. We'll all be happy and singing praises that, you know, Drip is finally rebounded and the phoenix from the ashes, and Forex will jump right back on the bandwagon and be like, I told you guys, I've always been here for the community. I never left. I'm down for Drip, 10 toes down, blah, blah, blah. I've got this new bullish idea. I'm going to make a faucet 2.0. The inflation's more sustainable, whatever. He will just gaslight, flip the script, and then redo it, and pretty much we'll be right back. So it'll be another cycle. History doesn't rhyme it, or doesn't repeat, it rhymes. So that's how I actually see this. So as long as you understand Forex's agenda, who he is, and how he actually operates, and kind of the selfish, narcissistic desires that he has, then you'll be able to time this next cycle, because that's how I believe it will play out. Okay, I see I bought at 50 and just about got my money back, but you know what? I rate Forex. I don't think it's his fault. The community couldn't maintain payout. I think it's impossible to feed all 1%. What I rate Forex, I don't think it's his fault. I believe it is his fault. He had the ability to change this way before it got out of hand. People were preaching about the inflation and the sustainability and all that for a year, and he did nothing. He directed his attention to the animal farm and then gaslit the animal farm. And any business, if the CEO is driving the ship, the CEO is at fault. And Forex 100% is at fault for this. And there were things that he could have fixed, like the referral rewards, like also when Drip went to below $10, he still had it set at 1 drip to get into the faucet. It took the community begging and pleading just to get him to raise it to 10. It's still at 10 now, even though it doesn't matter, but it dropped to like 10 cents or whatever, and it was still at 10, and it was asked to change that. And that was one of the things he could have changed, and changed before very easily, when it was 10 drip and drip was $30, and then he changed it to 1 drip when it got to like $100, and then it stayed at 1 drip forever. So there were multiple things that he could have done, and he did absolutely nothing. He is 100% to blame, as well as people like Ray, who leached the protocol, stole millions from unsavvy investors. So there is plenty of blame to go around. I even accept my part of the blame. I drank the Kool-Aid and spread the false narrative that it was sustainable and that the tokenomics will work out and that everything will be Gucci. So I have my part to play in that as well. Ownership is the key, and Forex nor Ray have accepted ownership at all for their part to play in this. It's all about market cycles. Can trust all devs when it's risk on risk, you know. Can't trust all devs, but when it's risk on risk, you know. Yeah, definitely. Why do you think Forex is a one-trick pony? Because I showed you all his charts. So all the charts look exactly the same. So there's no real innovation, no real development in anything. He says he made the first reflectionary token with REAP. I don't actually know that, but and that's actually the one that's up. That's it. REAP and BREAP are the only ones that are up. So Dogs version 1, Dogs version 2, all the different iterations of Drip, Pigs version 1, Pigs version 2, Silo, Rake, everything else is shit the bed. And you can't say it's because it's a bear market. That's bullshit, because again, you can look at something, people don't like it, but you look at, what is that one called? Elephant Money. That one's up, and it was launched literally a couple months after Drip. So that's someone who's doubled down on their ecosystem and put a bunch of other pieces in place to have the token value appreciate. Now, whether or not he's milking money for the protocol or whatever, I have no idea, but that chart looks very different than what Forex's charts look like. And that's even with like a multi-million-dollar hack or exploit, supposedly. So yeah, one-trick pony. That's my opinion. Interesting point, good to think about. Yeah, it's definitely his fault. Facts, coach. I bet on the jockey and got wrecked. Yep, we all did, my friend. Well, if you're watching my channel, meaning I can't say we all. There's a small group of people that made money. Fine Glass. I think it's kind of crazy for Forex to admit that he knew Drip wasn't sustainable the minute it then mentioned last minute go deflationary. Yeah, that's funny how he changed his tune. Like, if you go back to any of his previous AMAs, It was 100% sustainable. He was innovative. He made something that could pay out. He was going to add more utility to drip so that it could pay out. The animal farm was built to keep drip afloat, all this stuff. And then, yeah, all of a sudden now, recently in the last AMA, he's like, oh, we knew it was going to end. We knew it was going to come to a head. You know, knew it was going to be a problem. And then again, he also doubled down on, or gaslit. Remember, he would never change drip. He's going to keep it exactly the same. And then he changes it because it had to be changed all of a sudden. It's like, no, it had to be changed like a year and a half ago. You're a day late, dollar short. And all he does is gaslight the whole narrative so that people forget what he said and what's going on, and then just drag shit out so that you have no clue. Like, here we are in the middle of November, and remember, the Animal Farm V3 was ready to go before Triple D, and we still have nothing on that. And it's going to be the next new innovative thing. So you go back now and look at all of this stuff, you can see the common thread. Like, everything he says and does is exactly the same. It's literally lies on top of lies, gaslighting, and slow development, or overhype, underdeliver, whatever you want to call it. Every single one. And you can't even find like the old roadmaps and the post about what was supposed to come out with H&W and Atlantis and some music rappers and all sorts of crazy shit. And then the casinos, drip was supposed to, the scratch tickets were supposed to be in actual gas stations, and then there was a ATM machine, like all this stuff, man. Just tons of BS that, again, me, when I was brand new to this, I'm hearing it and it sounds great. So you double down. You're like, okay, cool. This developmental roadmap, I'm in. So that's why it's 100% his fault, because he's talking about all this shit that he never delivers on. And then most of the time just shelves it and never tells us anything about it until later. It's like, oh yeah, I shelved that. You know, put it back on the shelf. You know, it's not ready right now. You know, it's ready, but it's not the right time. And I'm not going to put it out unless it's perfect. Not a single thing he's put out has been perfect. You still got errors on the animal farm. You still got errors on the dripnetwork.io site. So like nothing. The fiat on ramp still has issues. The off ramp doesn't exist. Like, so why keep feeding this narrative, you know? But at least now we know, some of us know better. But that's the whole reason I keep making content like this, because sadly there will be new people that don't know better, and they will be fed this narrative, and they will become exit liquidity for the ones on the inside, basically. And I can't sit back and let that happen. So the least I can do is put out content and continue to beat the drum, so that hopefully somebody else comes across this. It's like the Better Business Bureau in the US, you know, or having what do you call those? Reviews on products. If all the reviews say it's 5-star, you know something's wrong. And if people are deleting their 1-star reviews, that's even more cause for pause. So I am going to be leaving a 1-star Yelp review, Amazon review, Google review, everywhere. Von Glass. I don't understand why he doesn't just integrate everything in the drip. He has the community. He could just take the utilities from Animal Farm and make one massive network. Yeah, he could, but he doesn't want to, because it's what I mentioned before. If you're familiar with entrepreneurs and stuff like that, all they really want to do, and visionaries. So this is an actual positive thing, but you got to have the right people in place so that it doesn't become a problem, which it is right now. So entrepreneurs, shiny object syndrome, whatever it is, basically, they go through this. I actually plan on making another video on it later, but you go through this where you want to do something new. And because it's new, you get a lot of hype, you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of eyeballs. It has temporary success. And then it starts to get hard because it dries up. There's issues you got to fix with the product. You got to do marketing, you got to do sales, you got to do customer service. You got to do all the boring work. Well, when you're a visionary or an entrepreneur or a builder or an architect, all you want to do is build. Don't want to do the maintenance stuff. The maintenance is the boring stuff, the blocking and tackling and all that. So what happens is, yeah, drip has the community, but it requires a lot of maintenance, requires a lot of the boring stuff of doing AMAs, be forward facing, customer service, all that stuff. And if he did that, he could definitely turn drip into a multi-billion-dollar platform. However, he doesn't want to do that work because of, again, the type of personality he is, that visionary, developer, architect, entrepreneur, all that stuff. So they go to the next shiny thing. And the next shiny thing is, oh, Animal Farm V3 or dogs and seats or rebrand this or do that or add this new tokenomics to this new thing, all that stuff. That's why he's always talking about something new. Scratchies, the Dogs Roulette, or Piggy Plinko. What else? The Super Chats. He was talking about supplements at one time for brain enhancement. Like, he's all over the damn place because all he wants to do is build the new thing because he thinks that new will bring in the revenue, because initially it does. Remember, the first farm, 600, 700 million. Relaunch, 150 million. So every time, and the charts are always up to the right with a launch of a new project. But he hasn't learned the lesson that just launching something new and watching it fly off the cliff does nothing for sustainability. If anything, it just shows, again, back to my point, that you're a one-trick pony. Launching something is not the juice. It's sustaining it. So he hasn't learned that because he doesn't have the right people in his ear to help him understand business acumen, and he's never had to work in a legitimate business. He's always been a solopreneur. So therefore, he doesn't take advice from people like that. From what I've heard behind the scenes, yeah, he doesn't listen to his project managers, marketing people, any of those people. That's why they get fired. And that's why things continue to be the same. So there are people smart enough to tell him what to do, but he doesn't listen. And they eventually get fed up with it and get fired, quote unquote, but they actually just quit because he doesn't pay them. So that's the issue. It's just a personality flaw, basically. Bond, you're using basic logic, and that's not how Forex works exactly. Great analogy with the stars. Appreciate it. Seems so, Matt. What up, coach? Keep doing your thing. Hope we all can win one this next bull. I agree, man. Like, I got some BNB, ETH, BTC, kind of just DCAing back into those. That's all I've been doing. And of course, you saw me with the Carol protocol and Kitchen Sink, got some BNB over here. And I've neglected this. So I only got 2 available claims. And this is why this becomes more sustainable. Because you forget to babysit your bag, especially on Kitchen Sink. So I'm realizing that, what do you call that? Passive income is not passive by any means. It requires a lot of work, constant vigilance. So it's I've compounded from 1 BNB to 1.4, but I can only do 2 claims, and that claim would just get me to 0.35 BNB, I think. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. So either way, I got a long ways to go before I probably will. Actually, I guess I can do that now, right? Let me compound on stream, because the timer will be up in an hour. So it's already been 47 hours. That's how bad I keep neglecting this. It's supposed to be every 24 hours. You should come in and do an action. And I don't. So let's compound. Where is my Rabby wallet? Where are you, Rabby? Currently on timeout. Oh, okay. So I'm not. I got another hour. So I did do this recently. All right. So I'm actually better than I thought. So I got to wait an hour. Hey, good job, me. But still hasn't been that many. There's only 2 compounds available. That means I've only done 6 actions on this protocol. And shit, I think I've been in like at least 2 weeks. So it's less than 50%. Doing horrible. All right. That was my rant. So yeah, went in a couple different directions. For those of you that aren't following AI, definitely jump into ChatGPT, man. They got some pretty bullish updates on how they're doing GBTs and personalized GBTs. Man, the future for that is just crazy of what they're already doing and how quickly this thing is spiraling out of control. Man, I use it every single day for my fitness side and marketing side for my fitness side of the business. And it's just getting much, much more robust, creating an assistant and stuff like that. Nuts. I don't like to keep the stream going longer than I need to. So usually it's supposed to be at an hour. But if I got nothing of value to add to you guys, let me look at X real quick. We got any announcements here? Anything? Shout out to KK. Mo. Carol Protocol. Rock Ape. Appreciate him sponsoring my last video. Nah, I got nothing. So, yep. Got nothing to share. Nothing new happening. Carol seems to be catching the most attention in the drip community. So there's not much else. So I'm hoping all these content creators, what happened to Marble Madness? Drip Marble Run? Has that done anything? I was looking to play that. The hell, they're Alien Games. Also, Bitfighters is out, and they even have a new feature where you can be a guest. You don't have to have an NFT. Oh, I spelled alien wrong. Why do you guys tell me I spelled alien wrong? There they are. And I haven't been playing Bitfighters. I'm still on my old laptop. But they don't have an announcement on Drip Marble Run either. October 22nd. Wonder what happened with that. I was looking forward to seeing that. But there is... Bitfighters has a guest feature, but every time I log on, I think right now it's just still primarily US-based peeps. So you can now play as guest. You can't fight, but you can basically join. Let's see if anybody's on US East right now. You can join, and they give you a base character, but you can't fight, but you can at least interact and type and watch the fights and stuff. Yeah, there's nobody on. And this game, God, I'm hoping it gets some legs and picks up because it has a lot of potential to be like, if you're familiar with an old Nintendo game called River City Ransom, it's very much like that. So I'm looking forward to the gangs and crafting weapons and building the grind side. Like, I could definitely do that. I'm not a big fighter, but this is when this picks up, all they need is the actual marketing and eyeballs on it, because the fighting side and betting is already available, but they don't open up the rest of the world and the map until they get more characters. Looks like I'm gonna have an issue loading right now on stream, but Mr. Blue, yes, I do have a crew. You can't join as guests, but if you, I think the link is actually still in my description. So if you click the link in the description, then you will join. I don't even know if I have a crew, to be honest. I do have a referral link that will build a gang. Let's put it that way. There should be people that join the gang because I gave them airdrops for Bitfighters. Rock Ape is one of them. But there's nothing going on with this as of yet because it's just not a lot of people playing. And right now, for time zone wise, there's not anybody on whenever I get on. So there's 500 Bitfighters, 72 owners. So even if all of them got in at the same time, it'd still be a small amount for community wise. But you can buy yourself a Bitfighter. What is AVAX? 0.18? It's pretty cheap. Let's see. .18 AVAX. Yeah, $4. Oh, you have a Bitfighter. There's supposed to be a way in headquarters to join a gang or change your gang. I don't know if that feature is already available. So if you already have a Bitfighter, then you'll have to check in the game at headquarters or leave a message in their Discord about that feature, because the gangs are there, but I don't know how you change it. So, and right now it's not streaming for me to load at all. So you have to check with them on that. But yeah, I think once this picks up, what they've built will be phenomenal, man. So shouts out to them. This was the Drip Warriors DAO project. If you want a minute NFT, like 0.1 BNB or 1 BNB or something like that. Don't remember. But yeah, other than that, nothing else of value. So still hoping and waiting. We'll see what happens around mid-January when theoretically the inflation turns to deflation. But as I told you guys, there's always going to be people that will cause drip to mint, because I don't believe there's ever going to be enough drip in the tax vault to pay out. Because in order to get that filled back up, there's got to be incentives for people to use drip. So they got to be either transferring it to wallets, getting into other dApps like Kitchen Sink, or buying it so that the tax vault fills up. If the tax vault's never filled up, then drip will continue to mint until the very last person has done their last claim. And that could be months, years, because remember, you don't have to come check your faucet. So somebody who joined drip in the last bull run and forgot about it, they could literally come back over next bull run and be like, oh yeah, drip. And if there's no drip in the tax vault, when they hit claim and they get their 20, 30,000, whatever it is, then it would mint those drips. So there's no way to know how much will truly be left at the end of the day. So I believe we'll have somewhere around a 200 to 300 million supply that will hover around for quite some while. And then the actual max might be like 500 million or something like that. I don't know. All right. I went off on a tangent again. That's all I got. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening to me rant, talk about randomness. So I will catch you on the next one. So until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.